All right. Good morning. Good evening. Good night. It is a Friday edition of Layer 1 Live. As you can see, I'm having a good time. It's a nice Friday. The markets are green. I've never seen this much green in my whole life. Everything goes up. Send. Whatever memes we're using today. Good morning. I appreciate everybody showing up here today on this Friday. We are going to have an awesome Layer 1 Live. Shout out to everybody that is new. We've been getting a huge influx in new members into the community, so it's great to have those guys stop by here. Again, breaking down the latest in the cryptocurrency industry. You guys are always bringing it in the chat. Please do so today. We are going to have ourselves an episode, and I do have one question, but before I get to that question, I need to see this chat light up a little bit, guys. I know it's Friday. I know everyone's getting off work. I know it's a little bit late. There are all these different factors as to why this chat shouldn't be blowing up right now. But let's blow up the chat. Scott Harris is here saying, yo. It's good to see you, my man. Me and Scott were getting after it. That's part of the reason why this episode kind of ran a little late today. Because we were getting after it in StreetFighter and Wax. RK9, Overman, StreetFighter crafting was fun. Yes, it was. I actually had a great time. We are going to get to StreetFighter later in the episode as well in the NFT section, but definitely get some people in here. We've been getting after it this week, man. Easy Street last night. We had Lads Radio twice this week. I love RK9 getting in the chat. Appreciate it, my man. So this is basically the rundown for today, guys. We got a lot of Bitcoin news. Bitcoin hit $1 trillion market cap, as you can see on my screen. Really nice number here. Boom. We are at 55,000. I was putting together the episode, and we hit 55K? No one messaged me? Nobody hit me up. That's all right, man. As you can see, I'm here alone today. Buffalo, Ronan, they are doing IRL stuff, doing that real life thing while I hold it down here in Lad City, doing real life stuff with you guys. K Cars is saying, hanging on to my StreetFighter packs for now. That's probably a good idea. You know, packs have always done relatively well. Definitely good to see Wax do so well there. Shout out to Jassy. Shout out to the team. We're at 55,000, and I didn't even know. Okay. Let me know if my audio is coming through, guys. Let me know if everything's all right. If I need to turn it up, turn it down. Just please give me a ping. Otherwise, the markets are green. We're talking about Bitcoin's $1 trillion market cap. We're talking about a lot of traditional investors getting in. MicroStrategy, obviously. Coinbase was behind Tesla's buy. That was one thing I saw recently that I wanted to get to you guys. Coinbase actually handled the OTC on Tesla's buy. Not surprising, but still cool to see the confirmation. Motley Fool buying up 5 million BTC. MicroStrategy buying more BTC. A lot of NFT news. The Clubhouse scene has been absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Bancor is in focus. Yeah, Bancor is doing some really... The one-sided liquidity is an amazing feature. I wonder how that would work out with social tokens and things that we're getting involved in here at Lads. I do like the ability to have both sides be filled, but at the same time, the impermanent loss there. I know a lot of people are affected by impermanent loss there. Audio's good. Thank you so much. Fun. In Israel. Our audio is loud and clear. Okay. I shared on Twitter, guys, again, got a late start here just from the fact that we were doing... The crafting took an hour. Not only because there were some issues with the actual front end, it was just hard to go through all that stuff. So we moved it back a little bit. More, like I said, more institutional investors getting in, NFT projects raising funding. We had Non-Fungible Pepes. That's under the radar NFT project you want to look at right now. The story behind Hashmasks, Sandbox doing a public land sale, F1 moving to Polygon. Who's not moving to Polygon at this point? And then we're going to hit Bancor, DODO, and Pool together. Pull together just like, I don't know if it was like a well-kept secret that I didn't know about. Maybe I just didn't do my due diligence. But Pool Together actually launched a token. I know they were going to launch those community pools, but they actually launched their token there. It's doing pretty well, too. Let's check out Pool. This is not financial advice. And apparently I can't click. Yeah, Pool Together is doing really well. We'll touch on this later in the DeFi portion because technically it is decentralized finance. But that's pretty much what we got on tap today. And the big story of today, the big story really of today is Binance, right? And the one question I have to you guys right now, and I'm looking at you right through the screen right now. Right now. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? And it reminds me of Bitcoin. Some of these maxis, man, it reminds me of Gold Bugs, Peter Schiff, all of these situations where you have these naysayers that say, no, that doesn't fit into my narrative of how this should work. So there's no way that this is going to be a thing. And that's what's happening right now with BNB. The gas fees are going through the roof. That's pushing more projects to projects like Polygon where they're doing layer 2s and BNB or Binance Smart Chain, BSC to be exact. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Of course it's centralized. We all know this. But CZ is the man, the myth, the legend. He had a couple missteps there in like 2018, 2019. Do you want to be right and make money? That's probably the best fun in Ninja Zero saying both. So a lot of different things going on here, man, with Binance. We'll talk about Pancake swapping volume with Uniswap. I mean, it sounds like we're in an alternate timeline when I say things like that. But let me know what you think about BNB, man. Let me know what you think about BSC, Binance Smart Chain, and what they've been able to pull off over the last 6 months. It's absolute craziness. The market, I think I'm going to give a shout out to one of my good buddies, Mike. He was talking about, I think he was just tweeting. Let me see. I might be able to even find it. Actually, I won't dox him here, but he was saying this market makes my head hurt. And it's not because things are too complicated. It's because they're rather straightforward. Everything just keeps going up. Thomas Kaiser saying after the burn, BNB will have lower supply than ETH. Keem says, what do you do with promo StreetFighter NFTs? I have a lot of promos and I don't know what to do. So the promo, NFTs are going to be there for your, collectible sake. So you can have them in your vault, your personal vault, or you can, flip them on the market. Go to Atomic Hub, flip them on the market. I don't know how many maximalists we have here in the chat. Oh, Overman's got a major bias against Binance. He sold at 20. Yeah, there's a strong FOMO in this one. All right, so we got about 42 of you guys. I know we started late today. That's why we're getting, having a little slower kind of pace here as we start the episode. Let everyone kind of trickle in, understand, hey, what the hell? We're usually at 2:30, aka 2:45. The real ones know. But today we are coming with you, and we're going to talk mostly about Binance. But that's not even that true because we have so many stories about Bitcoin here. Who's at 55,000 right now? We're crossing 56K on this show. Let me know what you think about CZ. Let me know what you think about the Binance Smart Chain. I will start to pull some of these stories up as we go forward. Again, gonna hit breaking news with this Binance pump. Gonna hit a lot of quick news. Cosmos is doing some things, NFTs, and then DeFi. Dodo just launched their DODONomics and saw a nice little pump because of it. I swear, whenever we launch like an updated version of the LADS token, we're just gonna call it LADSomics, and we'll get like a 80. This is not investment advice. Do not come after me. But you get what I mean here. We're just going to call it LADSomics and we're going to get 100% pump. Because that's all it takes. 7 days. Look at $4, about $5, all the way up to about $7.20. Just on the announcement that we're kind of releasing our DODONomics here. And it's got a lot of cool features. We'll touch on it. Xbox says, my brother is new, lad. Ship tees. Got some #1 mints. Congratulations, man. I know there were a lot of people that were getting into StreetFighter or NFTs for the first time through StreetFighter and just, maybe didn't have the best time. Shout out to Scott Harris's brother. He was struggling. I'm definitely concerned about the shenanigans with BSC. I think there's a lot of opportunities to make money elsewhere right now. I always thought CZ was kind of scammy. Can't be right about everything. Great comments. K Carey, I don't know how to say that. K Carey and Overman. Those are good comments. Listen, it comes down to this. There's money in the BNB ecosystem. Whether you think it's too centralized or whether you think that there's a security risk, which there is. Don't get me wrong. When you have that many tokens controlled by the team, when you have a lot of the network, I mean, I have to look at their like, what does their validator set even look like? Mint 1, Power 5, easy peasy. How was my pack opening experience? I don't want to get to that too early in the episode, but I will show you guys kind of my luck this morning. Scott was with me. We kind of went through the battle there together. We had bad weather in the chat as well. He hopped in for voice for a second, so I want to give a shout out to bad weather. Overman said I got a collector's edition number 1 Power 5 score. Boom, killed it. Deanna Pierce says, "What's up, guys?" All right, so we're going to get to the episode. I know there are a lot of people waiting. The one thing I will say before we get started, we do have Lads Game Night tonight. No poker this weekend. So just Lads Gaming. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. We'll be playing Valheim. So it's kind of like a Rust survival game there where you're kind of with your fellow Vikings trying to set up and build and not get killed by a lot of these things. So we're doing that tonight in Lad City. Shout out to everybody that has joined Lad City over the past, I would say, 2 weeks. I mean, the OGs know who they are, but it's great to see a huge influx in Lads over the past 2 weeks. Great to see. Okay. All right, I will get to the rest of the comments there. All-time high is going to be 116 today. If you're here and you like the content, please like the channel. It definitely helps the video. All-time high is 116. We will drop some rewards for you guys today. We had some issues with our last NFT Live. Not the sale day episode. Just the standard straight-up NFT Live episode me and Ronan did on Wednesday. It got reported. And YouTube took it down. And it's my suspicion, the personal suspicion, that people are getting upset when we don't drop links in the chat or the way that they want or the amount that they want. So just like everything else, something good is being ruined by a lot of people who don't care or people who don't, and I guess care is the right word, and I'll stick with it. So we're going to have to figure out a way to make sure your guys' rewards are coming. Your social token rewards, the Lads token rewards in the right way without, if we don't drop one on a Tuesday, that we're not going to get banned by YouTube. And that's where we're at right now. So we'll get some rewards to you guys today, whether that be in the chat or that be in Lad City. We'll figure it out. But we appealed. They put the video back up. But it's always like that, right? The 10% of people are trying to ruin it for everybody else. No, they don't say why you violated community guidelines. That's what they'll tell you. They'll say you violated community guidelines. You'll say, well, what we try to be straight up here. We talk about it not being financial advice. We've got it in the bottom of the description. What do we do? And they never get back to you. I mean, they're a large company, don't get me wrong. It's not like some mom and pop that you can call up customer service. But they never really tell you. So that's something behind the scenes that you guys should know about. So again, please like, comment, subscribe. You guys kill it in the comments. The episode gets much, much better for those that even watch afterwards. All right, yeah, just like Twitter. I think I misplaced my password for Instagram one time. There is no customer service for that. If you don't have the right email set up, boom, nothing. Library is open for business. Love it. We're actually on Library right now. So we do distribute to library if you guys do use that platform. So awesome. Okay, breaking news of the day. Binance is obviously popping the heck off. I've got a CoinDesk article here if CoinDesk is even up. BNB gains 45% in 24 hours as Pancake Swap flippins Uniswap volume. This is the simulation that we are living in, that we are talking about cakes passing unicorns in volume in hundreds of billions of dollars. So, that's what's going on here. I got some video issues. Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds to fix these video issues. Let's see if I make sure. Let's see. Pew. All right, hopefully that did it. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, let me know what you think about Binance. Let me know what you think about CZ. Obviously, over the course of about 4 years, Binance has done really good things. CZ slipped up here and there. There have been a couple things. I know they had this move to Malta. He's talked about rollbacks where the community was like, hey, slow your roll there. We'll allow you to have a centralized cryptocurrency exchange, but don't talk about rolling back the Bitcoin blockchain. So over the past 6 months to 12 months, BNB has absolutely, and CZ himself, has been on a tear. Has been on an absolute tear. There's some lads that are in some of these AMMs. There's in some of these DeFi projects. Over the past, that's a 14-day chart. My goodness. Let's go to a year. $22 last February. That was 2017. That was 2017. That's where we're at right now. And the question we have to ask ourselves is why? Why is this up here at $322? Will saying, I make tons of money. Thank you, CZ. Will Pancake Swap go to $200? It's a good question. Swap sitting at, or Cake sitting at somewhere in the 50s, I think, right now. Yeah, 45 right here. Up 213% on the 7-day. So I keep mentioning it, and I know I'm kind of all over the place. I'm still running on a high from that StreetFighter drop earlier. But the reason Binance is doing so well is because, one, they have a great model. They have one of the biggest, exchanges in the land, most volume being traded. The tokenomics were good with BNB, with the burn model, with the access to the launch pad. All of those things are really great. And then you build a chain out on top of that. So you have all of this money that's flowing into this really small but growing ecosystem where people are like, shit, you're telling me I could build my application, I get funded by CZ, and people then can actually use my app? Sign me up. But again, there's a lot of negative. I mean, you go on Twitter and it's an absolute, not bloodbath, but it's a battle. Imagine this happening. Binance number 2, flipping Ethereum. Imagine that. What would my Twitter feed look like if that happened? This article is saying, trading at around 271 thanks to increased interest in decentralized exchanges and relatively new DeFi projects like PancakeSwap. We have a tweet from CZ here talking about PancakeSwap doing more in volume than Uni. This is going to be an open conversation here. Because if we go through these quote tweets, you will see people will be talking about the flippening, and you will see someone right above it saying all he wants are yes men. And talking shit about him. How will Cardano catch up with the Binance? Is there a way to downvote? I'm not going to report him. That makes my timeline better. All right, so, you go through all of this. And I was on, if I actually go back to this, I was on a bunch or one of the AMMs. It wasn't Pancake Swap, it was Bakery Swap. And there were ridiculous things going on with Bakery Swap. I'm sure there's a lot of different rug pulls happening within that industry or within that chain there. But at the same time, man, it's a crazy discussion to be had. But generally, what's happening is people are rotating away from ETH. There's money to be had. Do you want to be right? Do you want to make money? That's basically, that's the only thing you need to know. It's easier to use, and CZ's got a ton of money, and the money is flowing there. Primarily, and this is what I've been hearing, there's a good amount of money coming from China. So this is also interesting because a lot of the narrative that you see with Binance right now is kind of what you heard about EOS, right? It was usable. There weren't as many dApps at the time. Like if there was DeFi at the time and you were able to use EOS, that would have been interesting. Like maybe migrate and start this ecosystem, maybe not have Block 1 fuck everything up. But this was the narrative. It was China's chain. That was one of the big things. And that's what you're hearing about BNB now. Let's see. Rodney Fury, BNB is the new gas and highway to cheap and easy DeFi. If I want $400 worth of Burry, I don't care how much BNB costs because I'm swapping it to Burry. CZ is doubling people's Bitcoin and Ethereum. It won't. Cardano is for shorting. Orlando's in the house. Aloha, lads. Great show. Q, drop the news, my brother. We appreciate you guys. Mahalo. Mahalo to you, sir, as well. Great to see you in the chat. It looks like Overman picked up some pull together tokens. We'll talk about that later in the day. Fun in Israel says, Binance wiped my account clean, didn't shut it down before the cutoff. Since I lived overseas, I wasn't worried about losing my account. Boy, was I wrong. Never Chinese crypto for me. There is the issues. There are security issues with what's going on, and you have to assume risk when you're operating on these chains. That being said, if you can stomach that, you can see the returns because the money is flowing in there. And as we talk about it more and more, as you see us talking about it now, more people are going to flood into those ecosystems. But is it a hot potato? Is somebody going to... someone eventually gets burned at the end of the day, right? But how high is it going to be able to go? From the article, Binance's native token BNB is also reaping rewards from the newfound attention on BSC. BNB broken into crypto's top 5 coins by market cap. Yeah. Value moving over to BSC reflects demand for decentralized finance products on the cheap. The cost to process a simple Uniswap transaction has skyrocketed well to the double digits, in line with ETH bull run. Even a simple transfer from one wallet to another will set you back nearly $10. Gas fees are likely a major factor in traders moving to other chains with clone DeFi offerings. What's my thoughts about Dodo? Framework Ventures. That's all you got to know. That's my thoughts on Dodo. Anything Vance and Michael touch turns to gold. That's all you have to know. Bancor price prediction. I don't really have one. I'm just getting involved. I'm just hearing about... I know Bancor was doing a lot of good things back in the day. So it hurts me to not own Bancor right now. But they just launched a new feature. They're doing one-sided liquidity. It hurts me. So, some of the different things I'm hearing about Bancor, that their team is fantastic. Like when you compare that team to Uniswap, that, maybe there's a little bit more professionalism there. Although that's kind of Uniswap's stick, right? They're kind of we just built this in a garage team. You say it's wrong, it's shit. What am I saying it's wrong? It will be interesting. I see a couple, Katsumoto saying, I got a few BSC NFTs, but don't know their future. NFT is a CZ NFT. Look, F1, announced this morning that they're moving to Polygon as well. So we're seeing the migration. NFT projects are not going to stay. Most NFT projects are not going to stay on Ethereum, especially as that interoperability increases, as Cosmos is launching their IBC. There's a lot of different things at work with the infrastructure that plays in to some of this. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your time frame, right? BNT went up to $6. It's going down to 530. Depends on your time frames. Overall, that was probably a reaction to selling the news. They just came out with that stuff, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're talking about BSC. We'll jump into this article really quick. And really, I just want the summary, right? They take us through BNB, potential growth, competitors, yada, yada, yada. Cardano, what's going to happen? So here's an article. Potential obstacles and shortcomings for BSC. As with other rose-tinted investment opportunities, BSC does not come without its flaws and potential obstacles. There's plenty of stuff that can go wrong if you're launching a blockchain platform where the goal is for developers to build on it. You need to consider these 4 things. Regulations. It's pronounced DODO, but there's a dodo on the picture. There's no way it's pronounced DODO. Regulations, adoption, high competition, and security. We already know adoption is probably going to be pretty easy. If you can make it onto any one of these chains, it's a breeze. You can do it through MetaMask. You can be fine, and you see that I'm going to be here for a little while. So regulations, adoptions, high competition, security. There are a good amount of competitions, but not really when it comes to competitors right now. What, Polygon? So it has a consensus algorithm that combines DPoS and proof of authority. BNB holders who would use stake coins to vote for 21 validators every 24 hours would be trusted to confirm transaction blocks. Okay. Nothing triggers me more than in the middle of an episode just getting hit with Discord notifications. So there's 60 of you guys in the house. We are talking BNB. Throw out what your thoughts are on BNB, on Binance Smart Chain. There's not much else to say here that I already haven't said when it comes to Binance, other than there's money in the ecosystem. CZ is a relentless shiller of his project, like up there with, I hate to bring, he who should not be named up, but up there with Justin Sun. And that's about it. And it's fast transactions, low gas fees. Do what you want to do on Ethereum on our chain. Yes, it's less centralized or decentralized, but who cares? Do you want to be right? Do you want to make money? And I know people are going to string me up on my thumbs for saying who cares about decentralization, but that's why we have Ethereum. Do you want decentralization? Go to Ethereum. This is a world full of chains, and it will be a world full of multiple chains. If you want max decentralization, you got to pay for it. Yeah, I mean, China wakes up and they just go to town when it comes to dumping everything. 8 a.m. In the morning, I'm usually waking up to some type of red. Richard Gall saying, "Good evening. I had a good BSC day." I need to get more involved with BSC. And I know that's such a pleb thing to say when something's up. Like, what is it up over in 7-day period? That was the most pleb thing I've ever said in my life. 30 days, up 600%. I think I'm going to get in here. Easy's in the house saying, been on the road all day. Just finally got out of the office to renew my ID. Glad I'm crashing some of this. About to be driving again, listening. Tony saying, hi, all Lad City. And Ryan is bringing Ada into the house. If you do a quick Twitter search of Binance, and so I did get some negative press here. Apparently there were some things happening on Binance. So I guess the exchange was limiting Ethereum withdrawals Binance had a hiccup with its withdrawals for Ether and all ERC20 assets on Friday, with users being unable to access any of their Ethereum-based assets. Of course, they're going to say funds are safe. A moderator in the Harvest Finance community drawn in connection to the rise in Binance Smart Chain. Harvest, and I believe, man, I don't know the other platform, but they're moving to Binance Smart Chain, or at least becoming interoperable. The congestion on ETH is no worse today than it has been for the past weeks, so the timing on Binance's part could be considered suspect as they tried to wrestle mindshare to the BSC chain for Ethereum. Where's the tinfoil hat here? Crypto Buffalo says, how many times has Q mentioned Lohan today? You are the first person to mention Lohan today on this channel. I am now the second, and Overman is the third. You have a history of FOMO with the Lohan NFT. Listen, when I see a good piece, and I'm talking about the NFT, I buy it. Okay? That is going to be hanging up. If it didn't have the gold Ethereum logo, I wouldn't have done it. Paul's saying, ADA has a pretty wallet so far, nothing else. Binance was down a bit at all-time highs at BNB and BTC. Listen, if something's down, you can't sell. Can't sell if you can't get to the access to your tokens. Richard saying, actually, BSC is fast and cheap, and protocols can be used fluently, and everything is just working in the right way. Lohan, what's the price? Why, GB? Do you wanna buy one from me? Or are we talking about? If she lowered the price, I'm gonna be upset. If she lowered the price, I'm gonna be upset. Although I do want to see if I won that 10 ETH. That'd be fun, right? Let's see. Shout out to everybody in the house today. We are talking BNB, so put your comments in the chat. Are you I'm not a big CZ fan, so I'm going to, kind of say no to the whole centralized chain thing. Although, yeah, it's fast. Or do you want to make money? She lowered the fucking price. Ooh! She lowered the price. Ah! Lindsay can do no wrong in my book, okay? I don't even care if she lowered the price. We're trying to get to those 100 sold. So go in there, guys. You can get it for 20% cheaper than I did. Llama's trying to help me sell my BNB, to be honest. So we're going to be doing that. 65 of you guys in the house today. Jippo saying, Lindsay lower. I got low hand. Buy another. Expo is going to make me buy another Lindsay Lohan piece. That will never happen in all of my days. Apparently, we're getting some breaking news. Binance just suspended ETH withdrawals again. Let's go breaking here. Man, CZ is on a roll right now, guys. Binance has temporarily suspended withdrawals of ETH and Ethereum-based tokens in order to address a congestion issue. Rest assured, this was 5 minutes ago. Rest assured, funds are safe, and we apologize for any inconvenience. And then we have the comments rolling through. Just shows how crap Ethereum is. The Harvest guy might have known what he was doing. This is it coordinated? Put it on the tinfoil hat and tell me that it might not be a congestion issue. I mean, the rest of the episodes we're going to fly through, right? We have like very specific news. We're going to talk about some things. But this story I wanted to spend a lot of time on because I need, myself, I need to know, and I would like to have that discussion. What's the future going to be here for BNB? I'm particularly bullish on it. I could care less about the centralization of that specific chain. Not every chain is going to be completely decentralized. We're going to have a spectrum of a lot of different blockchains that are decentralized and centralized in their own way. Mark is saying people need to open their eyes and see that Binance and the growing ecosystem is not good for the space. Let's go back to centralized SQL databases and banks. I'll follow you down that road, brother. No, I'm not. No, that is not a road. That is not where we want to go. But I appreciate the humor. BNB boys selling their soul to China. You want to be right? You want to make money? Bitcoin is the moon. Do you have Pancake Swap? No, I took part in Bakery Swap. So I'm not going to head on over to the Binance Smart Chain right now. I really don't want to do that to you guys because I don't know where that's going to lead. But I did take part in the Bakery Swap launch. Bakery Swap is probably the redheaded stepchild at this point. But it's up 100%. Maybe I got some left in there somewhere. Whew. Yeah. I might need to check my Binance account here, guys. But I think I completely liquidated my Bakery tokens. Looks like it's sitting at nothing as far as the market cap is concerned. I would need to kind of do that actual calculation there in my head. Therefore, I can't get a number on where this sits. But I took part in Bakery Swap. Pancake Swap seems to be obviously the better play. Overtaking Uniswap in total volume. It's settling a little bit. 18 bucks. 18, 19 bucks. Okay. Richard saying MetaMask is not working fine with BSC. When would I like to check the transaction hash? MetaMask directs the BSC address onto the Ether scan. It should redirect the BSC scan. Interesting. If that is the case, that is very interesting. I'm going to move on to the rest of the episode. Easy said he's warning me. I did warn you about clueless celebrities coming into the space. Hey, man. Ryan says, take my soul, China. Give me the money, though. Exactly. But, again, the hot potato, the musical chairs, needs to be talked about. The music will stop at some point. I will promise you, the music stops. Yeah, Christie's is actually going to be taking my piece here a little bit after the Beeple sale, I believe. So my Lohan piece will be at Christie's. Check RFox. All right, I'll show RFox a little bit. I don't own any RFox at this point. 161 market cap, huh? This is going to be nice. Up 73% on 24 hours. I don't have the RFox story, nor am I going to be able to hit it because I know you guys can't drop any of the links, but RFox is flexing hard. Okay. I promise you guys the rest of the episode is going to be much smoother than what we're going through right now. Right now, I was kind of just having an open discussion here about Binance and what Binance is doing. I mean, we might even be able to check the exchange volume, spot volume here. 36 Billy. Beating Coinbase. Successful product. The exchange. They have all the money. CZ is the shiller. You need a front-facing face of the franchise. It's all there. And we're seeing that. Musical chairs. Remember, the music's going to stop. We're up to $323. I'm getting a lot of comments about Dodo. It looks like people were selling the news a little bit about the tokenomics. Yeah, a little bit of a sell-off from the news from 725 down to 583. I look for good teams, right? And good teams that are associated with other good teams. Like if there's a good little ecosystem of advisors as well as people that are helping with the project. I love Framework Ventures. We talked with them earlier in March. Damn, that's almost a year ago now. We talked to the Framework Ventures guys a long time ago, back when we were young. And I love what those guys are doing. Taking, token allocation and then helping the actual ecosystem. Amazing. So I believe they have a one-sided liquidity piece. We'll touch on Dodo later in the episode. But listen, Binance obviously elicits a lot of emotion. It elicits a lot of emotion. So I totally get it. I totally get it. One of the reasons why, EOS didn't do so well for the longest time is because it elicits that negative emotion. And whether that's from Block 1 or whether that's from the broader ecosystem, something that seems like it's a competitor to Ethereum is going to, gain the ire of a lot of people. Whether that be consciously or subconsciously. But they could, again, not going to, die on the hill for CZ here. He's done a lot of bad things, but I think there are a lot of different, there's just options. There's no need to kind of like draw black and white lines with chains because people can go whatever the hell chain they want to go. Chinese New Year delayed to pandemic issues. Uh-oh. Check the charts. Yeah. Marcus says, I don't mind people trading, taking profits, but yeah, not a fan. That's fair. In the long run, BNB could displace ETH. That is a interesting question. It seems out of the realm of reality, but so does PancakeSwap being number 45 on Uniswap or on CoinMarketCap. It's about to double up in a few, billion on Polkadot. So, who knows what it could do? The money's there. We'll see. There will definitely be a musical chair situation. So don't be the last one standing, man. The crypto pie is big enough for us all. That's where I'll end it because that truly is the best way to look at it. If you don't want to use it, you don't got to use it. That's what's great about the crypto ecosystem being built out here. All right. That was an awesome conversation. I appreciate you guys jumping in and talking about how PancakeSwap will stop COVID. I'm just kidding. Bitcoin is the moon. Just said that in chat. But it was great to talk about that BNB. It was great to talk about that BNB story. Jay Constant says PancakeSwap at 45 means this is all a bubble. This is definitely all a bubble. Me and Buffalo have been saying that like it feels like a top for at least the past month? For the past 2 weeks, my head hurts. Everything goes up. It doesn't matter. Send. Apes together. All of these memes. And nothing goes down. How the hell do you... The only thing that we're losing is like opportunity cost at this point. Well, I can't get in this one because it's only going to go up 20%, and this one's going up 60%. How do you even... I can't even sleep anymore. Adrian comes through with the... Yes, thank you. Tagging the channel saying, hey, dude, what will be mooning next? Nothing makes sense to me. You're right. And you know what? It makes sense to nobody else. But do you want to be right? Or do you want to make money? That's it. Listen. The prevailing theory is that this market will continue to rise because of all the institutional money FOMOing in from all of the money printing that's going on from the inflationary environment in traditional finance, moving into BTC causing people to make a little bit more money, then moving that down into alts, and then the alts flowing back into BTC. Where does it end? In 2017, the bubble happened, or was popped by the ICO craze, and primarily for the ICO projects that were raising in ETH, that were raising $20 million and were being greedy with that money, so they were holding ETH. Then when it started to go down, they wanted to actualize those profits. I say profits, but I say the money that they raised. And everyone was trying to do that at the same time, because God forbid the 20 million they raised turns into 2. So it was just like this absolute death spiral of projects selling their ETH that they raised in ICO. We don't have that today. We have revenue producing DeFi financial products. That will be interesting. That's a great comment. I'm getting way caught up in the comments today. That's kind of the episode that I'm having today, to be honest, as you can tell. Love the discussion pieces as they're coming through. We got about 63 people in the house. Here's my next piece of story. I'll keep it up on the screen while I answer this next question. If there is a pullback, the media will attack Elon. Tesla shareholders will be mad. That will be interesting to see. And we did see like a one-day bear market last week sometime. Things were down like 10%, 15% in the matter of, I think Doge was down like 35%. And I'm not under the impression any big firms are in Doge. But, you know, there was downward movement across the board. And even though I guess that only lasted a day, still, you know, interesting to see. Like, people, you know, investment firms are not used to that kind of volatility. Better a volatile 200% gains than not gaining at all. Jay Constant coming through with the absolute banger of a news story that I'm never going to repeat here on the channel. Yeah, it's almost fun is talking about the crypto bubble popping and all of those things kind of being interwoven together, right? The stock market, the dollar, and crypto. Like, if all of that goes to shit because it's all kind of feeding in on itself a little bit, although you can make the argument that if crypto, you know, pops, that it's not necessarily going to affect the traditional market as much as the other way around. But we're in La La Land. We are in absolute La La Land. When the theory is that the money's going to continuously come in from investments, and then you have that cycle, how do you look? Where do you go to make the counter argument? What's the counter argument? Will we grow forever? Me and Mass Mage will be trading our Pokemon cards as currency. That will be how you buy and sell food. Literally, your family is going to have a vault of you know, rare Charizards and StreetFighters, and Scott Harris Firestone is going to be the richest man in the U.S. Adrian's saying it. There will be a massive correction at some point. This makes no sense. We've been saying that for a month. Like, what? The generational wealth being created right now in crypto is absolutely, first of all, fantastic. This is awesome for everybody involved in crypto. 99.9% of us are great people, and it couldn't have happened to any better, you know, individuals. So, I mean, it could have happened to better individuals, don't get me wrong. There are way better people out there than me that should have been given this opportunity. But it's awesome to see. But as Buffalo's saying, we're at the tippity top right now. But it feels like we're only halfway there. There's anyone making any fundamental analysis, as I'm almost 40 minutes into the episode and... No. 50 minutes into the episode, and we're just starting with quick news. I'm going to move on. Great conversations we're having here. Amazing stuff. 63 of you guys in the house. Get the word out, and also please like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. Michael Burry, Mr. Big Short himself, is saying governments will move to squash Bitcoin. This could be an interesting scenario. Although, institutions getting in make it so those institutions have lawyers that want to, if they have a stake in Bitcoin and they got the money in lawyers to be thrown around, that helps Bitcoin get into the lobbyist pockets. Michael Burry saying that governments are not going to allow the dollar to die. When they start printing via COVID, obviously there's a lot of different stimulus packages out there in the works. But based on this article, what he's saying is they're not going to allow a competitor. But the problem is, it's almost like it's basically the Trojan horse is inside. It's already there. Like, yeah, cool. You didn't want the Greeks in your place. Well, it's already happening, and they're streaming out more and more. The time to kill this would have been, 3 years ago. Kind of hard to kill it as that network effect is being built out. Paul saying he sounds mad, probably doesn't have any BTC himself. Interestingly enough, there is a portion of this article here. While Burry is best known for his housing market predictions, he found himself back in the news recently after condemning the recent Reddit-fueled retail investment in GameStop. Forbes has reported that after investing heavily in GameStop last year, he sold his shares just ahead of January's massive surge. Pour one out for the big man. I'm sure Michael Burry is doing just fine. We should tell him about Cardano. Maybe he'll big short that. All right. OKCoin bans Bitcoin Cash BSV citing misinformation war. Not a large story here. OKCoin, San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange, CEO came out and said, because Craig Wright is basically an ass, we are delisting Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. Let's see, where are we at? Bitcoin Cash up 1.7% on the news. Hong, not affecting the price there. BSV up 1.5 since the launch of Layer 1 Live here. Interesting story. A much better and a much more interesting story is from the block here. Crypto exchange Coinbase was behind Tesla's Bitcoin buy. Again, not very surprising. The OTC desk over at Coinbase has a relatively large amount of people doing business there. I'm sure of it. I don't have the actual numbers. I do have from a source, the source who spoke on the condition of anonymity, said that the Coinbase's prime brokerage arm counts more than 5 Fortune 500 companies as clients. This is on the run-up to their IPO. That might be the most anticipated IPO in the history of mankind. There's a couple different things going on here, but Tesla made headlines earlier this month, 1.5 billion. Coinbase declined to comment for this report. Tesla as well. Sources familiar with the deal said Coinbase executed the purchase for Tesla during the first week of February over the course of several days. Using Coinbase's agency OTC desk and suite of routing and algorithmic trading tools, Coinbase was able to help MicroStrategy acquire its desired position without incurring market impact while beating the market in the process. Same thing happens with Tesla. MassMage bringing up the absolute factual news that PancakeSwap is what got Apple to get into crypto. Speaking of large investors like Apple, the Motley Fool getting in here. We got big news. We're buying $5 million in Bitcoin on our own balance sheet. That's right, $5 million. This came off like a how do you do fellow kids post. It was like a copy paste from the Bitcoin Wikipedia. Like copy paste anything that any institutional investors said over the past 6 months about getting in. We believe it will be a store of value more effective than gold over the long term. We believe it may become a medium for transactions as and if pricing stabilizes in the decade ahead. We believe it can act as a productive hedge against inflation. I'm going to town on the Motley Fool for no reason other than I just think it's funny at this point. It's a crazy time, okay? I'm selling digital toys for thousands of dollars, and these guys want to talk to me about a hedge against inflation. We know. Move on. Move on. Get your 5 mil. Make it 10. Maybe I'll start to talk about it. Everyone wants to have like a clubhouse. Like, let's have a clubhouse session to talk about what we think about Bitcoin's hedge on inflation. Like everybody isn't already talking about it. Something a lot of people weren't talking about here, and this was a cool story. Cosmos upgrading to Stargate. Now, we really we have to put, the brakes on here a little bit, and we had Brian Kerr from Kava Labs as well on the channel, I believe almost 6 months, probably a year ago to this point, but we also had one of his other teammates and team members on the channel. This is basically the first step in the inter-blockchain connectivity that Cosmos is looking to do. Basically, in the same way you'd probably say, although, techies will get on me here, devs are going to get on me a little bit here, in the same way Binance does. They're able to connect all of these different protocols within the Cosmos ecosystem together. Well, this is the first step. Because primarily what you're seeing is Cosmos dApps are within, they're using that tech, they're built on Cosmos, Tendermint, but they're not connected together. So Cosmos, let's see, up 26%. These are like rookie numbers right now, man. A year up 400%. A little bit of a dip. Boom, boom, boom. Going to try to find that story. Apologies. It looks like CoinDesk is giving me a hard time. Cosmos upgrades to Stargate. Another 2017 ICO very nearly completes its vision. At 6, and this was yesterday, at 6 p.m. UTC, the Stargate upgrade of Cosmos will go live. The Cosmos community recommends that interested observers follow along. Yada, yada, yada. Stargate represents an important milestone for Cosmos projects on the way to launching its inter-blockchain connectivity protocol that will allow the 200-plus Tendermint-based blockchains to interoperate easily. The era of cross-pollinating blockchains is very nearly here. Okay, so they're building on Tendermint as a blockchain. So the BSC thing, again, devs, hit me one time, slap me. Because that's one chain. And this is going to be the inter-blockchain connectivity there. Ken Bozak in the house. Shout out, bro. I made a vid telling people to buy BNB at $1 a year ago. I don't know. If you're not following Ken Bozak, who are you? Fun in Israel says 4 million Texans lose power. Oh man, I wanted to buy myself a generator with my BTC. No power, no money. Maybe Motley Fool will have an article soon about the Magic. The Gathering cards are valuable. Paul Young says, I want to ask everybody in Clubhouse rooms, why so serious? Because they have something important to tell you, okay? Easy says, Cosmos migrating to Stargate is very interesting, kind of a big deal. It is a big deal. Brian Kerr says here, though, I'll read a quote by Zach Emanian, one of the main guys over there. Stargate upgrades all the software that makes IBC possible for Atom, but there is an additional governance proposal before tokens can be transferred to and from the hub. There's a bunch of different comments from different teams, but I do want to point out Brian Kerr's comment here because it's the most sobering. And what it means is don't expect anything day one. Kava's team is cautiously optimistic about Stargate. Before the adoption of IBC can happen, we need to do a robust set of internal testing and review to ensure it interacts with the Kava blockchain as intended. Once this is performed, Kava is excited to release the integration of IBC. So what Brian's saying there is this is kind of a light switch, but the infrastructure is not completely built out. So while it's good to see that Cosmos is upgrading to Stargate, this is going to be a long period of time. It's not going to be like a boom, we're live, we're good, everyone connect, kumbaya. It's going to take a long time. So this is just the start. But it's the start of the next thing. You're here for the hard-hitting news, aren't you? Well, sorry about it. All right. Thank you again, Ken Bozak, for stopping by, man. Appreciate the donation. 420. My man. Ken Bozak, the scammer slayer. The man, the myth, the legend. All right, OVR going to be big. It's like a Decentraland, but it's augmented reality, low cap alpha stuff. Appreciate you dropping the alpha. Bitcoin is the moon is saying, how did you get started in crypto and since when? Man, I just found out about crypto like 3 days ago. It's crazy, man. I've had a crazy 72 hours. I got to give a shout out to my buddy Mike Finch. Me and Mike Finch go way back. He actually is the head over there at Parada Capital, investment firm. He's doing a great job. He got me into crypto in mid-2016. And then we worked at a company called ICO Alert together. Kind of in the midst of all that ICO craziness. And when the bottom fell out of the ICO market, we did some other things. Then I'm here. I poofed onto the screen. I'm really just kidding. It's not 72 hours. It's the comments are a little bit delayed, so I'm definitely not 72 hours, but I appreciate you stopping by on the channel today. Bitcoin is the moon. Please leave a subscribe. Join the Discord channel, man. We got a really robust and really awesome community that's pretty much crypto-wide at this point. You want to talk about anything, they're all about it. 64 in the house. Great to see you guys on this Friday. Please share the episode as we go through. This was a cool story. These next two stories could have made it into NFTs. NFTs are absolutely blowing up. Everyone here knows it. We do NFT live on Wednesdays or Thursdays. NFT marketplace Async Art raises $2 million in seed funding. At some point, now if they had made my Lindsay Lohan, I'm about to stop going. I'm about to stop going to the block. I'm fed up with this freaking message. Every time I open the block, I got to get hit with it. I don't want to sign up for it. Maybe I click no and it goes away forever, but I'm a big X guy. Shout out to Decrypt, man. I want to like the block. I really do. I like the work they're doing. NFT marketplace Async Art raises over $2 million in seed funding. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Async Art is really dope. It basically is a art piece that reacts to certain features and functions and environments. So one of the coolest ones that has made its rounds is an async piece of art that reacts to the price of Bitcoin. The art piece changes as the price of Bitcoin goes up and down. So the fact that they're raising $2 million, this is really cool. It comes from Lemniscape, Galaxy Interactive, Signum Growth, Semantic, Placeholder, and others. Easy says right there, he's putting it. I love succinct answers and explanations, programmable art. That's the best way to talk about it. One of the coolest ideas as far as async art is concerned, I like the idea of having an art piece that reacts to the weather. Or maybe an art piece that reacts to your partner. Maybe they're in a different, maybe they have a mood ring that then connects to your art piece that's hanging right there next to your Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan async art. The art piece changes based on the level of crazy that Lindsay Lohan is at in that quarter. I'm here all day. CryptoPunks sold for 1.2 milli. This is up there with one of the biggest NFT purchases of all time. In another world, this would have been, in another timeline, this would have been a great story. In this timeline, it's barely, making front pages, apparently. No one is talking about this, although maybe some people are, but certainly it would have been a bigger story, but everything is happening in NFTs right now, if you didn't get the memo. So there was a transition here. Punk 4156 is now the most expensive CryptoPunk ever sold. In the past hour, several punks have sold for tens of thousands. This is the piece I want to touch on. Most valuable NFT transaction. With a price of 1.24, Punk 4516 clearly is a contender for the throne of most expensive NFT to date. There's an argument to be made here. However, it's important to note that 2 NFT transactions actually involved more money. Gala Games sold a Citadel for their online game Mirandus for 1.6. However, this purchase isn't public. And then they're talking about Axie Infinity Land. That was a bundle sold for 1.5. Jay Constant said, I bought one BTC at 5K and sold at 18K, and now I have 0. Hitting that Loadmaster's Rock Club, man. That'll get you. Listen, Loadmaster, that club, it's hard to turn down. I get it. Easy saying, Q, my big idea for first acting oh, yeah. Q, my big idea for my first async PS actually does react to the weather. It'll be a while before I make it, though. Love it. Love it. I think I got it there. Yeah, I know you're using voice to text, so that is a great idea, man. Really cool stuff. Mass Mage, Elon Musk is like a walking black swan. He can just tweet something, and depending on what he said, it goes up up or drops 10 to 20%. Did something happen that I missed? Listen, me and Buffalo, we're talking late nights. We're, talking about investments, talking about lads. How do we make lads better? How do we bring the content to the lads? How do we become the best around? And he talked to me about Doge back when, the Wall Street Bets thing was a piece of news all those years ago. His theory, because the investment thesis for Doge has to be that Elon is going to tweet more. That is the only positive piece there when it comes to Doge. Elon tweets it up. So yeah, you're right. No CryptoPunks in the vault. Mass Mage. Goddamn, I wish. He said I wouldn't mind if Dogecoin holders. Well, they were listening to him. You know what's really funny is that Elon Musk is very McAfee-esque. Like, he does a lot of things that McAfee was doing back in the day, but we simp way harder for Elon Musk. Like, Elon Musk can say no wrong. Even though he's doing the same thing McAfee was doing. They'll turn a blind eye to that. All right, that is the quick news. I've got NFTs to get to. I promised you guys I would get into what I was doing this morning with Scott when we got in on the StreetFighters packs. I'm going to give a quick overview too, right? The sale, we knew going in that there were going to be issues with the front end. We just knew. Like, for those people that didn't know, welcome to the show, because it didn't faze me and Scott at all. So the front end had issues, but the game was really, really cool and fun. The crafting, where you had to get a certain amount and then level them up and do that really quickly because other people were trying to do that too. I was sitting there, and Scott, I think, is still sitting there crafting. I was sitting there for like an hour and a half, man. And a lot of that had to do with the blockchain delays, interacting with the interface. Shout out to Asmodai as well. The returns were pretty good, and we can go over some of those returns right now. There's also some alpha hidden in here, okay? And again, I'll give a good shout out to Asmodai for bringing this up. There's a mint number on these, as well as a card number. And some people, I don't think, understand that the card number might be valuable. So you see here at 16, right? 6. This is my girl right here. This was my my best pull. Collector's Edition Chun-Li. But notice the difference. Number 2 Chun-Li. Mint number 6. There are some interesting things going on here with the crafting. For those of you that aren't involved in what was happening with StreetFighter, basically you had to put a certain amount together. I might even be able to do one on the stream for you guys, just like any that I have over. So early on, you were coming in here and you were buying some cards. You can see kind of the difference there. You would come to this crafting station, and basically any that are highlighted actually have the ability to be crafted, right? So I'm here. Okay, I want to, you had to put 2 builds together to get 1, and then once you had 1, you could upgrade it to 2. And for example, upgrade it to 3. So I can take this power 2. I can use a build card, which is essentially the base set. So 1 power 2 and a build would make a power 3, and so on and so forth till you got to 5. And then once you got to 5, I'll show you down here. Once you got to 4, okay, so say you had a Collector's Edition Nash. When you put that together with a build card, I don't have a power 4, but you follow me here. You could get a power 5 plus any of this other stuff. Okay? So people were racing to put together their cards. It was a cool process, and it led to secondary market sales. That's always a piece. I pulled that Collector's Edition Chun-Li, and although there, again, were a lot of front-end issues, I needed to go out on the market to buy these Chun-Li cards, these base set cards, because I didn't have enough. I wanted to get to the Collector's Edition Power 5, which, again, I ended up doing. But in order to do that, I needed to buy, I believe, 3 or 4 Chun-Lis. Yeah, it depends, Easy. Did you open your cards, right? So there's a couple different things. Again, the faster you did this, the better mints you got, right? You're gonna have less mints down when you get to like power 5s and things like that. There were different, obviously these welds where they have the different animations are gonna be a little bit more popular. Actions are gonna be super popular. See welds there. This is probably, and again, here's the thing. I haven't really figured this out yet, but obviously this is a collector's edition. The weld is, I think, the 3rd most rare other than action. But I have a number 1 mint Honda, but the card number is 37. Okay? Then I have a Chun-Li collector's edition, power 5. I don't know why I have that. That's weird. I shouldn't have a power 4. That's... Anyways. 6. I have a Chun-Li number 2. So let me know what you guys did. I know I kind of went through that process there, but that was my inventory. How much stablecoin is that Chun-Li worth? There's an interesting... there's price history related to this stuff. So about $869 for a Chun-Li collector's edition mint number 27 went. All right. That's the power of NFTs. If I didn't have to bring this episode to you guys today, I probably could have returned some cash. But guess what I'm doing today? I'm bringing you the latest in the cryptocurrency industry, around the crypto industry. Everywhere. All up in it. Had to do it for you guys. So, There are some stats on Wax Explorer. This is kind of a visualization of what's going on Wax. It's kind of tough to break down a lot of this information from a live stream. We might be able to find an uptick here. Some of this information, again, takes a little while to populate, but you definitely see on a 60-day timeline. Let's go that to 270. Woo! That's all you need to know, folks. That's all you need to know. Do you see that? That's StreetFighter. I was asking if anybody could find the actual numbers that they kind of went through, right? So that's the idea. We are seeing a lot of sales. If I can kind of go over, assets created 1.1 mil, 2.4 million wax in volume. Yeah. Atomic is terribly laggy. That's putting it lightly for what happened this morning. This is a big, successful sale. All right, if we go to 180, we can kind of see a little bit more. So here's what happened. This I believe the asset creation. So there was a ton of assets created. So kind of going back and stepping back here a little bit, this is good and bad. They have a great burn mechanic. I was burning the shit out of my build cards, but this big white candle is actually the assets being created. So not as much on the volume, although we'll see this number continuously increase. It's tough to view. I wish they had a little bit better view ability here on the screen, but can't really see the volume here. Yeah, it's not even reading it at this point. So I would love to, see if Crypto Slam's another one. We can hit Crypto Slam. Mass Mage is tugging on my heartstrings there with the Blue Eyes White Dragon. If Yu-Gi-Oh ever gets into this spot, can we just talk about NBA Top Shot? Can we? $15 million in 24 hours. It's before Top Shot and after Top Shot. It's as simple as that. As far as adoption is concerned, as far as volume is concerned, before Top Shot, after Top Shot. There's all these different projects in the space. Don't get me wrong. The NFT industry is deep and it's being built out and it's filled with great people. Everything is on fire right now. But $15 million in 24. I'm going to click this 7-day and this 30-day and all time, and it's going to blow your mind. 39 in 7 days. Or about 40. So they did almost half of what they did in the entire last 7 days. 30 days, 92. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. $101 million. And this is only secondary markets. This is only secondary markets. This is not taking into account the money that the team is making. I have trouble verbalizing what this means. So, craziness, man. All right, what do you think? Let's see. Here we go. I'm going through some of these comments. In a few days, I'll put number one, the Age of Enlightenment, on the market. Awesome, man. Great stuff. All right, so I've got a couple things. StreetFighter drop went awesome, by the way. I would love the final numbers. I think, at time there's like 1.5 million, I think the team did. The Wax team there for the StreetFighter. Would love to get the actual information. This is some alpha drop, although it's been an interesting, last 7 days. This project like popped up out of nowhere. I got it. Initially, I heard about it through RAC. So these non-fungible Pepes are created by a group of individuals. It's kind of that's kind of meta to call this NFP, non-fungible Pepes, a meme, but the project is kind of a meme. But so was Hashmasks, so was CryptoPunks. So it's in that fashion. You kind of see the portrait mode. So this is actually happening now. They're actually bidding. They had some issues with launching it. So this actual article is in response to a botched launch, I believe. But again, they said it was like more of a leak of a project, which with these cloak and dagger projects where they're like kind of trying to be behind the scenes, it's always interesting like how they get out their marketing. So, interesting project. Check it out. Not investment advice. I've got this in the link. Guys, I got, we're going to be here for another 15 minutes. I'm going to run through these stories. The story behind Hashmasks, it's in the description. I've got all the links that I'm talking about here in the description. We know about Hashmasks. We know, again, it's within that CryptoPunks type of vibe. High value, low volume. The NCT token was awesome because you could change the name of the actual Hashmask itself. I don't think it's doing very well. Initially it was, but yeah, and it had that spike around the time it launched. Doing okay. It's holding its value a little bit. But there is a story of Hashmasks. If you want to know the story, it's an excellent article. Takes you through kind of how the two guys worked it out over a year and a half's time frame, by the way. It wasn't kind of like a 7-day period or anything like that. All right. Sandbox is having a sale. Public sale, actually. They've been through a couple of these private sales, but they're doing a public land sale, wave number 2. There's a couple different things you can earn from this. You have a potential to get some of the one of the largest pieces they've ever sold here, right? 24 by 24. But you also have the NFT box giveaway done by Pranksy. So interesting stuff from the Sandbox. Really like what they've got going on. Want to give a shout out to. I always give him a shout out. So take your shot if you're here. But F1 Delta Yatsu moving to Polygon. This is really, really interesting stuff when it comes to what's happening on Polygon, formerly Matic, and QuickSwap. We talked about QuickSwap a minute ago, probably 2-3 weeks ago. QuickSwap is doing fairly well. QuickSwap is the Uniswap of the Matic network. The more migrations you see, the more headlines like this, F1 DeltaTime coming to Polygon, the more you're going to see QuickSwap do well. Not financial advice, do your own research. But QuickSwap has done extremely well for the guys that migrated to Ghost. To guys that migrated or via Ghost, because we were holding Ghost and they did that migration. That was one of the first migrations. And we were able to kind of move in, see what QuickSwap was all about, see how we added liquidity. But the more and more we see QuickSwap get, the total value locked has absolutely exploded as well. And I do own Quick, so I want to make that disclaimer. But the reason I do it, the reason I initially got into it was not because I heard about it or anything like that. It was because of Ghost. And then Ghost made it so I was like, what's going on here? Oh, we have an automated market maker that has low gas fees, layer 2 solution. And they're getting all of these different projects that are essentially beefing up rewards via Quick, via their own token. I might be able to pull up the charts here. Total value locked. It looks like total liquidity, right? 15 million. Up from early 2021, 270,000. There's the Quick token there. So Looks a lot like Uni. It's supposed to. Layer 2. Really cool stuff, man. We were talking about it right when we were doing the migration. So I know it's kind of a tough entry point here at 138. I don't know what that... It doesn't give a market cap, really. I hate when CoinGecko does this. Or at least maybe the team does this. So, like what they're doing. Congrats to F1 DeltaTime. I'm sure there's going to be more announcements on that actual move. But congrats to them moving over. Congrats to Polygon killing it. All right, the last piece here. Bancor, Dodo, and Pool Together. You guys got to bear with me here. Again, I was up early getting ready for this StreetFighter sale, so I did not have time to go through in depth on all three of these articles, but I brought them to you because I believe that they're probably some of the bigger projects in the DeFi space in all of crypto. So I'm hearing a lot about BNT. They're one-sided liquidity pools where you can add just a single side and not have the impermanent loss. From what I'm hearing, and again, not financial advice, from what I'm hearing, they have a lot of innovation there happening with their team. A little bit more professional. This is heard secondhand, okay? But I definitely wanted to get you guys more information. This specific actual article is talking about Vortex. So in a summary, you can now borrow against your staked BNT. That's going to increase the amount of staked BNT. Okay, so you can simply deposit BNT in any whitelisted pool, receive VBNT. So this is essentially allowing people to lock up BNT, take it out of circulating supply. You know how tokenomics work. You can do whatever you wish with the proceeds from the VBNT sale, including provided leveraged liquidity on Bancor to earn fees. VBNT is required to eventually withdraw your staked BNT. So they give a couple examples. But basically, this is allowing more utility of the BNT token. It's allowing more stake in BNT. Talked about the burning mechanisms there and making sure that you get your BNT back. But these guys are strong, man. You know, I rubbed elbows with them in the EOS ecosystem, but definitely interesting to see them continuously roll out more for the broader ecosystem, right? So staking VBNT, which is the token you get for staking BNT. I would love to go through all of this. It was just kind of a crazy morning. Easy says, Q, something really big is going down with Hashmasks in about 2 weeks with Terra Virtua. Awesome to hear. Thank you for dropping that. Massmage is saying, I'm going to buy 1,000 non-fungible Pepes just for the memes. Tell them we sent you. When do you think is a good time to exit BNB? When is a good time to exit anything right now? I was on the channel talking about how this felt like the top 2 weeks ago. Not saying that I wasn't increasing my exposure to some of these assets. NFTs I'm in on a daily, weekly basis. But it's just a tough time to say when to take profits. When are you taking profits? I'd love to hear that from everybody out there. When, because is it taking profits? It's a hard question. Shep thinks he should get out, as you heard. It's, you know, a couple quotes that I hear around the space are it's easier to make money, it's harder to keep it. Tom Trill Infinity. I'm so lost with everything you're saying. I love that. I love that comment because one of the things that we want to do is make crypto easy. That is definitely one thing that we want to make. We want to lower the barrier. We're here to translate all of these different things to you. So if you're lost with anything, that's why we got the lads. That's why we have our community here. That's why we're ready to roll. Tom's, when he's seeing something like Paul saying, paid myself twice on BNB cake already. I get how that can be a little bit like, what the hell is going on here? You're talking about cake. You're talking about syrup. It's a meme, right? It's not that hard once you get past it. But there's a little bit in me that is, I don't know. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, man. But I really want to kind of break that down for you. So as far as where you found yourself being lost first or what you want to know about most, break it down, man. We got the lads. Join our Discord. We'll get you set up. That's what's so cool about crypto today is that the adoption level is so much lower. That barrier, I guess level, but you know what I mean. Barrier. In 2016, we had to do so much more work. Now, there's people like us. There's lads. There's Clubhouse. MicroStrategy wants to put more money into crypto. Tell me something I don't know. Exactly. Istalk is saying I exited BNB at 100 and look at it now. That's the fear everyone has. But then that is the cycle. Right? That is that market cycle where it's just like, at what point does it just become too ridiculous? We're in la la land right now. So, all right. We touched on BNT. I want to hit Dodo. I want to hit Pull Together. Again, whenever we come out with new token economics or tokenomics, we're going to call it Ladsnomics. Because basically you slap nomics onto the end of your tag and you put it out to the public. I'm just kidding. Not financial advice. Look at Q, for example. You couldn't resist Lohan and he loves it. That's true, but I couldn't resist Lohan before the actual NFT. Okay? To be fair. All right. There's a quick summary here. One of the main reasons I even am glancing at this project, I'm sure they're doing a ton of different things. Don't get me wrong. There's way too much stuff going on for me to really get into an AMM outside of Uniswap, outside of Sushi. I'm sure there's outsized returns to be found there as well, but it's just too much going on in the space. One of the main reasons you should be focused, not financial advice, on this project is Framework Ventures. Those guys do a great job. This is one in their portfolio. I'm sure they had their hand in a lot of this creation of this tokenomics, pledge. Just my opinion. So starting from Dodo V2, there will be, and this is the launch, right? There will be 3 categories of Dodo platform: traders, LP creators, and LPs. Dodo V1 tokens economy design will thus be upgraded accordingly. A summary here: besides governance, Dodo will have 2 utilities for holders: crowd pooling and IDO allocations and trading fees. IDO is basically allowing people to launch different projects on that. It's much like what SushiSwap is doing with Miso, but basically an IDO is an initial offering for a community to launch a token. A new non-transferable DODO token. We just saw BNT. You kind of are putting shit together here. It's great to have Dodo tokens locked up and receive a synthetic that then you can use in other ways, right? A new non-transferable DODO token will be introduced to serve as a proof of membership in Dodo's loyalty program. VDODO tokens can be minted at a fixed rate of one VDODO equals 100 Dodo. VDODO tokens will give token holders dividends from trading fees and membership rewards. So what you need to know about this, they are locking up Dodo tokens to receive a membership token that then you receive rewards such as from fees. I'm sure they'll do a lot of other cool things for their users in the same way maybe a BNB did. Great stuff. One of the main reasons I'm behind Dodo, Framework cannot do any wrong in my mind. So, Framework Ventures doing some good things. Dodo's doing some good things. Lads is doing some good things. Last story I have here before I get up on out. Pull together. No lost lotteries. Now, don't leave when I say no lost lotteries. These are actually really cool. Someone the other day was saying that it was like some fake. I don't want to say anything that kind of gets me on the hot seat or anything, but basically that it was a scam, or no lost lotteries sound like a scam. But basically what you can do, and they launched a feature this past week that I talked about on last Layer 1 Live, which is it allows people to, maybe we could do this with lads, where we put a pool of funds, so like let's say lads, and if that had a yield, instead of that going to all the people in the pool, it went to a single person. So basically the way Pool Together worked in the beginning was they had ETH, USDC, and all these other interest-bearing assets for a week or a day or a month, depending on whatever pool you were in. If that pool got up to $1,000 or $10,000, I think I even saw like hundreds of thousands of dollars in that pool, the interest earned from that pool over 7 days would go to a single person via a random kind of lottery. So I loved the idea at first. Paul Young says no loss lottery is a scam though. How does that even work? I kind of just laid it out there. It's pretty simple. They use the funds that everyone is pulling together to in an interest-bearing way. So they lend it out, or they use a service like a BlockFi, Celsius. I'm not sure on that back end. It's a lottery in the sense that you get tickets for the actual stuff that you're. So on a 1 USD to 1 lotto ticket entry, that's why it's called a lottery. Because you're like, if I deposit 1,000 USDC, I get 1,000 tickets. Just like when you go to a 50-50 raffle at a ballpark, you're receiving that ticket that represents, and it kind of is a lottery. So they went and launched a pool token, and primarily, as it needs to be built out a little bit more, it's going to be mostly governance is basically what they kind of laid out here, but it's also going to be to incentivize activity in the pool. And they're distributing to people who have already been using the platform, a la Uniswap, a lot of these DeFi protocols. They're distributing this pool token. It's doing fairly well. In Paul's commenting on Pool Together, when they first launched and we had Leighton on the podcast, I like Pool Together. Not financial advice. I just like the idea. You lose out on the interest that you would have received, but it's a cool thing to do with a group of people. Yep, exactly, Overman. The lottery winnings are interest from pooled funds. So I haven't done a deep dive on Pool Together's token, right? They just launched it this week. It is an incentivization structure so that you can, take part in the pool. They're using it, quote unquote, for governance. They've already distributed a certain amount. The total pool token supply is 10 million. 4% of total pool supply distributed to all pool depositors across V1, V2, V3 up until January 14th of 2021. So a large amount has gone to people who have used it. They have an ongoing distribution. You can see the future distribution, and then kind of the next steps in what they're using it for, right? Governance. If you ever use Pool, you probably have some Pool waiting for you. So that is that. Layden is doing a great job with Pool Together. I appreciate you guys joining me on this Friday. You guys have been killing it, man. The last week, the activity in Lad City has been absolutely amazing. I'm going to drop a reward link for you guys right now, if you guys bear with me. I throw in some comments before I get to this rewards link, guys. I appreciate you stopping by again. We talked BNB. We do not know when this market is stopping. So when you ask me when I should sell, not financial advice, I have no freaking clue. We are not in Kansas anymore. That's all you can say. Great comments coming through today. Appreciate you guys carrying the show, man. Love the Binance comments. Loves the Lohan comments. They'll get me. Kay Carthy saying, would be a fun thing to do with a group of friends. Exactly. I love the way that Pool Together can do this. Imagine having a pool with you and your buddies. And you and your friends. And you just let that accrue over years and years and years. And then you have a $10,000 pool that pays out $100 Or, you know, it would be more like $10 every month or something like that. Be interesting. Mass Mage, yeah. The only thing I don't like is that whales can come in and get a ton of tickets. They will win most of the time. I mean, yeah, that's fair. You could probably, and the thing that they released this week was that it allowed anyone to create their own pool. So for the longest time, they only had these large pools. Now, in one of the features I was waiting on that they just launched this week, they allow anybody. So me and Paul could create our own pool. Orlando says, Q, I tried Pool Together when they first came out, and I thought it was a brilliant idea. Savings, lottery, mind-blowing. Orlando, check your balance in Pool Together. You probably have some pool tokens. Jimmy from NFT42 recommends people take some profits, so that's coming from somebody big in the face, but I don't know what to do. All right, guys. Really awesome time. I appreciate you dealing with the time switch. I know a lot of people couldn't attend because of that time switch. I've got about 62 of you guys in the house. Layer 1 Live, I'm going to get you your rewards right now. Let's see. BNB is going to, I think, not financial advice, anything like that. It has to pull back, right? It has to. When that is, nobody knows. But at some point, a parabolic move has to retrace. All right, guys. That is the rewards link. We have game night. If you're interested in Valheim, it's an interesting game. I need an electrifying game. And we are going to be playing that later tonight. I believe it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be hopping in. We're going to be dropping some lads rewards then as well. And we'll be playing some Valheim. We're going to continuously build out this game night, right? We're going to be doing tournaments, league tournaments, CS tournaments. Going to continuously be building out that event along with all of our others. So thank you guys so much for stopping by today. Tom's is saying, is anyone heard about chain monsters? If so, what do you think? Tom, hop into the Discord, ask that question in main chat. We got a ton of lads that are interested in chain monsters and other things that are around the NFT space, as well as DeFi and in traditional, investing as well. So again, happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you back on Monday for Layer 1 Live. Thank you so much for this week, man. It was a whirlwind. And like we always say here, happy trading.